Okay, so okay. Hello, everyone. This is a new series that I'm calling Diaries from the In-Between. And this is a sort of raw, unfiltered, lightly edited series where I talk about the fears and the anxieties, the self-doubt, the questions, the uncertainty, and everything that goes along with following your heart and doing something that you love. In my case, that's building and growing my online business, growing an audience, putting my offers out into the world, getting my voice out into the world. And this is a look at the messy middle. This is me sharing from a place of, like I said, all of the fears, all of the uncertainties and everything that kind of comes along with it. You're not at the starting point, but you're not at the summit yet either. And it's really the space in between where you decide, do I keep going on this path or do I throw in the towel and do I give up? And I wanted to create this series as, just a really personal reflection on some of the things that come up on my own journey, some of the challenges that I face, because I know that there are many creatives out there like you who either have a business already, you're a coach, you're an artist, you're a healer, and you're a solopreneur, or maybe you are contemplating becoming a creator and putting your voice and your message out there. And there's a lot of things that can stand in the way from either making that a possibility and a reality for yourself, or deciding whether or not this journey is, a path that's worth continuing on. So many of us throw in the towel and we give up before we hit the finish line. And it's nice to kind of hear the behind the scenes stories of other solopreneurs just like you who are facing challenges. And so often online we see people talking about their successes, how they've reached six figures, how they're, getting new clients every single month, making 5-figure months, like whatever success metric is for you. We see oftentimes we hear about the successes and we hear about how they started and how they got to where they were, but people don't spend enough time on the messy middle. And I think this is the part where people really decide if they're cut out for this or not, if their dreams are going to become a reality, if they're going to be able to fulfill whatever goals it is they have. This is the space where, the most doubt and uncertainty happens. And I think it's really helpful to have other people kind of share what they're going through so that you can see you're not alone on this journey. And perhaps you can learn and take some inspiration and some insights from what I'm going to share, my thought process, what kind of fears and anxieties come up for me, what kind of challenges I'm faced with on the day-to-day that sometimes stop me from moving forward or, force me to pivot. And anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. So this first episode, like I said, this is going to be a series called The Diaries from the In-Between, sharing everything that I just talked about. And so today I wanted to talk about something that is one of the biggest challenges on my plate and has been one of the biggest challenges for a very long time. And that is not having a shortage of ideas or not having the skill or the know-how to grow my business or get my offerings out into the world, get more eyes on my work. Those things I feel pretty comfortable with at this point. I've been doing this for almost 11 years now. But the area that is the biggest struggle for me, or I should say the challenge that keeps coming up for me, that is one that I'm constantly navigating, is time. And never feeling like I have enough time. I have the ideas, but I don't have the time to implement the ideas. And this is so frustrating because I see other people who are, putting out offers that I've thought about already. I've thought about those same offers for my own work. Maybe slightly different, but then I see that they're being done and I haven't yet been able to get to them. I see people creating content at a consistency that I cannot sustain and I can't achieve at this point. And I'm not even necessarily saying that that is a goal, but the ideas are there. I have no shortage of things that I want to share with the world, no shortage of ideas that I have for my audience on topics to talk about. That's not the problem. The problem really is having uninterrupted focused time, more than say an hour or two at a time, where I can just kind of sit down and get my ideas out into the world and be able to share with you all of the things that I want to share. Okay, so just to give you some context for anyone who's new around here, or maybe you've forgotten, but I am a single mom. I have 2 children, 2 neurodivergent children. I have a daughter on the autism spectrum, and I have my own neurodivergent challenges, working with a brain that doesn't always focus when I have the time to sit down and focus. So I definitely have some undiagnosed ADHD, well, self-diagnosed since my early 20s. And anyway, I have 2 kids and we're kind of quasi homeschooling. They are in a homeschooling learning pod, sort of part-time. You know, my son is home with me in the mornings and my daughter's there almost full days, but not every day of the week. So on average, I have a 2-hour window where kids are at school and the house is quiet and I can sit down and kind of do deep focused work. And what often happens is my days kind of look like me getting up, getting the kids out the door, driving my daughter to school, coming home. The mornings are usually filled with like some kind of homeschooling activity. Lately, my son's been really into 3D modeling using a really awesome program and software called Tinkercad. And we've been playing around with that quite a bit. So our mornings are typically filled doing something like that, or having a play date, or being outside if the weather is nice. And then I get him lunch, pack him his snack, and then he's off to school with his sister at the same learning pod. So I drive them there, and then after I drop them off, I get home and I immediately walk the dogs. And by the time all of that is done, it's about 1 to 1:15 p.m. roughly. And I have to leave again by 3 o'clock, 10 after 3, I'm packing up to go head back and get my kids. So if I'm lucky, I have a 2-hour window to get into deep focused work. The deep focused work that I'm referring to is when I'm doing things like this. I'm recording, I'm writing, I am creating content, I'm maybe developing a new offer or some type of product that I'm going to be offering to my clients. I'm building something, I'm creating. For me, the deep work is the deep in creation mode, or maybe I'm working on something for a client. Right now, I'm revamping a presentation slide for a client, and you know that requires some energy and some creative brain power. So I like to get into a deep focused state for that kind of work, and I don't like to be interrupted, because when I get in that flow state, I want to keep that momentum going. However, one of the big challenges with being ADHD is my brain doesn't always turn on. It takes a long time for my brain to warm up. And this is so frustrating, because I will have a 2-hour window, or let's say an hour and 45 minutes, somewhere around there. And I'm like, I need to record this video, or I want to get X, Y, or Z thing done. And it can take me an hour to get into a deep flow state. It takes a while for my brain to get in that mode of, okay, now everything is working. Everything is harmoniously in sync, where my brain is working, the creativity is working, my ideas are flowing out of me. But that's a problem, because by the time I get into that deep creative flow state, I go, okay, I've got about 15 or 20 minutes before I have to end my day and transition into an anchor point, which is to go get my kids from school and then get into mom and family mode, dinner time, and you know, all of the things for the evening that we do. So, you know, for me, motivation, skill, creative ideas, all of that is in abundance, but time is very scarce. And so I'm always up against the clock, and I'm always feeling like I can't get what I want to get done because I don't get enough uninterrupted time. And that flow state is so crucial for me to sit down and just kind of get some work done that I need to get done. You know, so if I have a weekend, for instance, where maybe my kids are out with a babysitter, or maybe they're with their dad, and I have like a solid day where I can just get into good creative flow state and it doesn't get broken for several hours, I can really get a lot done during that time frame. But projects have then backed up and piled up because throughout the week I have such limited time. And this is kind of just where I'm at right now. And I wanted to share this because I know that some of you, like me, have young children who need you, and you just don't have, even when you're in a creative flow state, it's just not feasible for you to go sit down and make a video, to write a blog post, to send a newsletter to your email list, or whatever it is that you need to do in order to grow your business and create a sustainable income and make your business feel fulfilling and joyful. So I totally get that. I know that some of you as well are caregivers. I work with a lot of clients who are in their second half of life and are trying to make a go of their business. And I know that some of you are looking after aging parents, and that's taking up a lot of time. I know that some of you are also dealing with health issues and chronic health issues that make it just challenging for you to show up because you don't have the energy to show up when you want to, or you're struggling with the capacity that way. And then there are some of you who are still working full time and you want to work on your business, or you want to take on more clients, or you want to learn a new skill that's going to help you have more fulfillment and joy in your life. But again, you just don't have the time. So I want to share with you what I tell myself to help me get through this, because the reality is I can't do much about the time. Right now, a lot of my energy and time is supporting other people and their needs, my children. And I love being a mom. And this is not a complaint by any means. This is not like a rant and rave kind of session. These diaries are meant to be inspiring and hopefully insightful, but also to help you feel a little less alone. And just to be real and honest with you that I don't have all of the answers. I don't have all of the things figured out. I'm along on this journey right here with you. Maybe I'm a few steps ahead, and maybe I'm 10 or 15 steps ahead, depending on where you are. But just at some point, you're going to be faced with some of these challenges. And if I can help you stay on the path, keep going, keep showing up for yourself, that's what I want to help you with. I want to help you, bridge the gap from where you are now to where it is that you want to be. And I know that can be really hard and frustrating and disheartening when you want to create workbooks for your business to sell, or you want to get better at designing so that you can show up on social media and create content. Or maybe you want to bring more awareness to your offering so that you can make more money. And all of this seems hard right now because you don't have the time to sit down and just focus for 4 or 5 hours or 8 hours, or you don't have a full weekend to devote to expressing yourself in your business or in your life. And that can be really frustrating. So I want to share with you what I tell myself, how I get myself through this hump, and just give you some inspiration and some insights that hopefully you can take away in your own life so that you don't feel like giving up. And if you do feel like giving up, then you know that this is a temporary season, things change, and there are things that you can still be doing to help you remain consistent without feeling like you're not moving the needle as quickly as you would like in your business, and that you're not creating as often or as much as you see other people creating, and you see others zooming on past you and going at a rate that is just not sustainable or feasible for you at this season of your life. So I've already kind of mentioned, I guess, the mindset that I need in order to help me continue to show up and know that what I'm doing is still worthwhile, that, it still means something. And the first is just remembering that this is the season of life that you're in. Everything is temporary. Even the good times are temporary. Moments are fleeting. And if you're in a season right now where your time's scarce and you're feeling disheartened by that because you can't get your ideas out into the world fast enough, just know that, this is just a temporary season, and next year it could be different. 3 months from now, this could all be different. We don't know. So I just keep reminding myself that this is just the season that I'm in right now, and I need to find ways to work within it. The first is just accepting that I can't move as quickly as other people, even if I wanted to. I can't act or execute my ideas as quickly as I want to. So the mantra, I never know how to say that word, mantra, that I tell myself is that it is better for me to move slowly than not to move at all. I have that playing in my head on repeat over and over and over. And I try to have blinders on. If there are other people who have a similar business to me with similar offerings, I try to just keep my blinders on and stay focused on my own lane. Because once I start to look at other people who are putting out, a workbook that I just had an idea about 2 months ago, but I didn't have time to execute on, and I see that they're creating it, it's so easy for me to go, well, they've done it. There's no point in me doing it now. Or losing focus and focusing on what they're creating rather than what I can be creating, even with the limited time that I have. So the next thing is you want to really prioritize what's really important in this season. If you know time is limited, you can't execute on all of the wonderful ideas that you have. Think about what's one really important thing right now? Is there a skill that you really need to be pouring your heart and energy into? Is there a particular offering that you really need to be pouring your heart and soul into? Yes, you may have ideas for a course and a workbook and an audio series and all of the things, but what's one thing that feels like the most important and the biggest priority for you? And just focus on that. Right now, my biggest priority is creating content. It's creating content because I'm passionate about it. This is one area of my business that I really light up when I can create content for my business and for my audience. So I'm really focused on that. And I'm focused on having an offering right now that I can put out. I had hoped to create a few things that I had on the back burner, a few things that I had started, but it's just not going to be possible. And some other things have come down, some other opportunities have come up that I hadn't planned for or weren't expecting, like teaching a workshop in January. So that's taking up a little bit of my time to put that workshop together. It's something I'm teaching locally. So there are just things that have come up that have taken priority. So something else has got to go. So it's about just recognizing what is the most important for you, what's going to be the most fulfilling for you in this season, and what is going to help you move the needle forward in the best way. So you can't do all of the things, but what's one thing that you can really focus on right now and feel really good about that and feel happy about that. The other thing that I tell myself is, progress is still progress. Even if it's working 5 minutes on your business, even if it's pulling up a document and creating a short outline for a new video topic or a podcast or an offering that you've been thinking about, progress is still progress. Every 5 minutes you work on your business is still you being consistent and showing up. Even if your consistency doesn't look like everybody else's, forget everybody else. Focus on you, focus on the season of life you're in, because I know that you are trying to build something beautiful too in the cracks between your life, between juggling kids, between juggling health, between juggling maybe aging parents or another job, or all of the things that you have on your plate to manage. It's a lot. You're not lazy, you are not unmotivated, you are not failing. You just don't have the uninterrupted time, that focused few hours that most people have and take for granted. Remember that. You are working and trying to build something beautiful on very limited time, and that's okay. So if you are moving slowly, know that you are not alone, you are not behind, you are not doing it wrong, you're just in between. And honestly, so am I. The fact that you're here watching this video, trying to hold on to your own dreams while managing and giving so much of your time and energy to everything else and everyone else who needs it, just says so much about your ability to create what it is that you want to create. The fact that you're here while most people would be escaping into the TV or a glass of wine or X, Y, or Z, and not that there's anything wrong with any of those things. The fact is you're here, you're showing up, and I am in the exact same season as you. If any of this landed for you, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Are you in a time-scarce season? If so, what does that look like for you? How are you managing this, and how are you getting through this season without feeling like you're failing or feeling left behind? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment, or you can subscribe to continue to follow along with the Diaries from the In-Between series, where I'm not coming to you as somebody who has this all figured out. These are real-time sessions where I want to share what's going on and what's coming up for me behind the scenes so that we can learn from each other. We can help each other grow. And if that's something that resonates with you right now at this season of your life and in your business, I would love it if you would follow along. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.